Hi guys, this is Intermediate Speaking Week 3, and this is Chapter 3 where we will study from the textbook. So please take out your Pathways textbook and make sure you have a pen or a pencil so we can do the textbook work together while you watch this video. Okay? Here is your textbook. Now, as I said, this is Chapter 3, and it is on page 41. Page 41, Unusual Destinations. Now, look at the picture. What do you think about this picture? I think it's really colorful and it seems very beautiful. To me, it looks very foreign, very strange, very unusual. And I can read this is the St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow, Russia. Have you ever been to Russia? Have you ever visited Russia? I have not. It looks really interesting. Okay, so let's take a trip. Look at these pictures. I love this chapter. This chapter is really exciting to me. I love traveling, and there are so many interesting places in the world. So I think that talking about travel and adventure is really exciting. So look at this picture. Do you know this? Many students tell me I want to see the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. And I am from Montana, which is very close to Canada. It's in the north part of the United States. So I have seen the Aurora Borealis in Montana. Usually you can't see this in the city where I live, but if you go camping and go out into the forest to sleep at night, then when you are out, there's not much light from the city. So then you can see the Aurora Borealis at night. It's really beautiful. And here are some other places. This is in Jordan, one of the national wonders of the world. And here is in Tianjin in China. It's an ocean exhibit, like an aquarium. So these are some places to visit. So let's look at your textbook. Now, we already introduced this vocabulary, so you can see this vocabulary. Area, beautiful, crowded, famous, quiet, tourists, unusual, and visit. So let's look here, part C. Write each word from the exercise next to its definition. What do you think? Not loud. Okay? So go ahead and write the definitions here. You should know them. It should be a little bit easy. Now, here is a vocabulary skill. This is called synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean the same thing. So last week we talked about antonym. Antonym is the opposite, like up, down, dark, light, on, off. Okay, so antonyms are very different, but the antonym of that word is synonym. Synonym means they are the same. Synonym, synonym. So, you can think about some of these words. Visit, go, see, beautiful, pretty. Okay, so go ahead and write the synonym, some other word. And then I am really interested in part E. Complete the sentences with personal information. So, I want to visit bada 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 because, okay? So please complete part E. So I'm going to give you guys some homework from the textbook for chapter 3. So the homework from the textbook is going to be doing the activities on this page, and it is page 45. Okay, now at this time, I'm not going to make an LMS assignment for this work from the textbook. At this time, I think we will meet in class to check the homework. But Next week, if I hear that we are going to not come to the university for a long time, then I will make some LMS assignments and you can take a picture and upload to LMS. Right now, I think the LMS is very busy and I don't want to make stress for you if you go to upload and have errors. So I will just check in class and hopefully we can meet in class in April, in early April, and I can just check your work and give you the points in class. Okay? So right now, I'm not going to make the LMS assignment, but if we get to April and still we are not having in-class meetings scheduled soon, then I will make some LMS assignments for the homework. So do it now. If you make if I do make the homework assignment, then you can upload very quickly. Okay, I won't have a long due date on the assignments if I make them later. So please do them now. And then you can keep up with the assignments if they later need to be on LMS or when we come back to class. Okay, so page 45 will be one homework assignment from this week. Okay, this is listening, and this listening activity is about the unusual Southeast Asia. So I want you to think about this a little bit because soon our class will do some presentations. After the midterm test, our class has 2 presentations, and one great topic for presentations is travel. So many students choose to do a presentation about some place, like Japan or Jeju Island. So think about this while you are listening and listen for the style. How do they talk about this place? What are they saying? What information is important? It can really help you to have an example when you think about doing your presentation. Okay, so let's listen to this presentation about Southeast Asia. It says, before listening, look at the map and the photos. What do you know about the countries in the photos? So this is Thailand. What do you know about Thailand? Vietnam. Here's the map. So you can see here's Vietnam, right? Here's Thailand. Here's Malaysia. Okay. Singapore is down here. So in the Philippines. So this is Southeast Asia. Here is Indonesia. Okay, so have you ever been to Thailand or to Vietnam? I have. I love the food. It's so good. The coconut flavor of the curries and the clothing is really colorful and the temples have a lot of gold. It's really beautiful. If you haven't been, you should go. It's really good destination. Do you know the word destination? Unusual destination? Destination means where are you going? So if I travel to Vietnam, my destination is Vietnam. It's the place I will go. My destination is the place I will go. Okay. So here we go. When you are watching, please, you don't need to worry about the main idea part. You should look at this part, match the place with the detail the speaker gives. Okay? It's part E.
Welcome to the 5th Annual Travel Convention, Unusual Destinations. Our first speaker is Susanna Jenkins. She travels around the world and writes blogs and books about her adventures. She recently returned from a trip to Southeast Asia, and she's here today to share her ideas about a few interesting and unusual places to visit. Please help me welcome Susanna Jenkins.
Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be here today. As Tom just told you, I recently visited Southeast Asia for a new book I'm writing. And today, I'll tell you about 3 of the countries I went to. Many tourists visit Southeast Asia, and usually they go to the well-traveled places, the beaches and islands of southern Thailand, big cities such as Singapore or Bangkok with their beautiful temples and palaces, or the very famous sites such as Angkor Wat in Cambodia or the island of Bali in Indonesia. These places are certainly great to visit, yet they can be very crowded. So I like to go to the more unusual places, beautiful areas that few tourists know about. First, I'd like to show you some photos from my trip. I started my trip in central Java in Indonesia. Here, I am in a rice field. The view is wonderful. As you can see in the picture, these rice paddies are in the mountains. They look like steps in the mountain. They're like a work of art. They are such a quiet, peaceful and beautiful part of the country, and not many tourists ever see them. After Indonesia, I went to Thailand. As I said, there are many tourists on Thailand's beaches, so I like to go to a quiet inland part of the country, away from the beaches. One of my favorite places to visit is the wetland area of northeast Thailand. Here is lovely Red Lotus Lake. You can go out on a boat from December through March and see thousands of lotus flowers in the water. It is breathtaking to see. Finally, my last destination was in Vietnam. The markets in the town of Sapa are lively and colourful. You can shop or just enjoy looking around. The nearby mountains are tall.
Oh, there we go.
All green and beautiful. You can hike along the mountaintop and look down into the valley. You feel like you are in the clouds. So next time you are planning a trip to Southeast Asia or anywhere, please think about visiting a more unusual destination.
Okay, so there is our video. So like I said, you don't have to do part B, you don't have to do part C, but please listen and do part E. And also, I want you to think about the video you just watched and think about question F. Now, as we have talked about before, your midterm test will be a conversation with me, and I will ask you some random questions. So I think a good question from Chapter 3 will be, tell me about where do you want to visit in Southeast Asia and why? So you can see it's here. Which of the 3 places do you want to visit the most? Explain. So maybe I want to visit Angkor Wat in Cambodia because it is very old and it looks very beautiful. And I want to visit Java, Indonesia because the view of the rice paddies is so wonderful. Okay, so remember, choose your answers carefully because when we have a conversation test, it's not question, answer, the end. It's not, where do you want to go? I want to go to Java, Indonesia. The end, next question. That's not how it works. I will ask you more questions. Have you ever been to Indonesia? Oh, do you like green space? What do you like about the view? Okay, so you have to be able to talk about your answer. So if you don't know about Java or green space, don't choose this answer, okay? Be prepared to talk more because I will ask you follow-up questions when I hear your answer. So it's not just memorizing an answer. You have to listen to my follow-up questions and answer those too. We will have a little conversation, okay? So one of your midterm questions will be this, tell me about where do you want to visit in Southeast Asia, okay? So just be prepared. All right, I think that is where we are going to stop for week 3. So remember, next week we will finish this chapter about travel. So we just wanted to get a little head start today, and that will be all for week 3. So your chapter 3 homework will be page 45, C, D, and E, and page 47, part E. Okay? So thanks, guys. I will see you next week for week 4.